Hey y'all, K-Dog here. Over the last 40 years, I've had pretty much every kind of motorcycle. Harleys, metrics, crotch rockets, two wheels, three wheels, you name it. I think I've had 7 or 8 bikes in the 40 years I've been riding. For the last 5 years or so, I've been riding on three wheels. First, a 2014 Harley Trike, and for the last few years, a 2020 Can-Am Spyder RT Limited. I am here to tell you riding a Spyder is fun. I smile every time I'm out on the road. Here's 10 reasons why riding my Spyder is fun. While I'm covering the 10 reasons, I'll run some video in the background from last weekend's ride down to the 2025 Ozark Bikefest with some fellow CMA members. It was very hot. My bike said 102 most of the way home, but it looked to be a great turnout for the Bike Fest, and I had a chance to talk with a lot of great people. One couple who rode up for this event from Mississippi and are getting involved with a local CMA chapter down there. Another gentleman who does honor flights for vets. Another gentleman who was delivering gas at a gas station. Got to talk to him about bikers from a trucker's perspective. It was very interesting. And then also had a chance to talk to a number of local business owners and workers who really love the event every year, even though it causes a lot of traffic challenges. The video footage is from the main drag by Bagnall Dam. The local Harley dealer usually attracts huge numbers of bikers too, so many that we decided for time's sake to skip going over there this year. So pay attention here, because these 10 great reasons to ride a Spyder are also great reasons to consider riding a Spyder versus another bike you might have or you might be considering. In my case, I have a 2020 Spyder RT Limited, so that's what I'll be looking at with you when I talk about what makes it so fun to ride. Reason number 1, riding my Spyder is fun. There are no clutch and brake levers. Now, I know if you've been riding a motorcycle, then you've built that muscle memory. You know when to clutch and when to brake and how to handle things when you're on a hill and how to ease in, how to sit at a stoplight or stop sign. I totally admit it becomes muscle memory and it's not hard to do. But on a Spyder, when you don't have clutch and brake levers, it's just a couple more less things that you're thinking about, especially on long trips. I just went on a trip to Pennsylvania and back from Missouri. My hands get tired. Cruise helps that, of course. But boy, not having clutch and brake levers is just one of those things that once I broke my muscle memory from, doing it for decades, I'm able to not spend time thinking about that, and I'm focused on the ride and on the people around me. So it's just really nice not having to even mess with clutch and brake levers. Number 2 reason, easy shifting. If you look here, you can see that there's no peg or heel-toe shifting on my left foot. There is no shifting down there at all. You shift with the shift paddles up here on the left handlebar. The Spyder will actually shift down for you automatically. So if you're coming to a stop and you're applying the brake and you don't manually shift down, which you can do anytime you want, but if you don't, it'll actually shift down automatically for you, which is one more thing you don't have to be thinking about. Now, when you're shifting up, from a stop, you do use the paddle shifter to shift into second, third, fourth, etc. But it's so easy. It's so convenient. Again, I'm not having to use a clutch lever, especially when you're stopped. All the finding neutral when you're stopping, sitting at a light, when you've got your foot on the brake pedal. You might even have the brake lever on. You've got the clutch in. You're waiting for the light to turn, and then you ease into gear and then shift into second. But when you're sitting on a hill, for example, that's just one more interesting thing that you're thinking about versus focusing on the intersection, focusing on what's happening around you. I'll cover some of that more, I think, in another part of the video. But easy shifting is so convenient, and it's one of the things I really enjoy about the Spyder because I just don't have to think about it. Number 3, one brake pedal controls all the brakes. It has ABS, and there's no brake lever. So when I'm riding, all I have to do to apply the brakes equally to the 2 front wheels and to the back wheel is use the brake pedal. It's super simple. Again, there's no brake lever. I'm not having to brake a lot with my hands. My hands get tired. It's just super easy, and it makes it really convenient, especially when you're doing things like parades. I don't know if you've ever done a parade, but there's a lot of slow speed. There's a lot of stop and go. Things like clutch lever work and brake lever work when you're stopping and going like that can be a real pain, to be honest. But on the Spyder, you're just not thinking about that stuff because you don't have to. Number 4, you don't have to put your feet down. This definitely takes some getting used to, especially when you're used to riding, 2 wheels for decades. When you're coming up to an intersection, when you're stopping to get off your bike, you don't have to put your feet down. Again, it's maybe not a huge deal. If you've learned how to ride a motorcycle, then it's not a big deal for you. But it really is convenient when you're on the Spyder. I'm just sitting there. I come up to an intersection. It doesn't matter if it's on a hill, if it's on an angle, an uphill or downhill. If it's on an angle for some reason, I'm just sitting on the Spyder. I'm keeping my feet on my running boards. And when I need to go, I go. Super easy, super straightforward. And it's, again, just one less thing that you're thinking about. Number 5 reason why riding my Spyder is fun and convenient: an electronic windshield. I don't know about you, but pretty much every motorcycle I've had that had a windshield on it, I almost always had 2 windshields for it. I had a shorter one for kind of around town and a taller one for if I was going on a longer ride. Most motorcycles, I can't really think of more than just a handful right now that actually have electronic windshields. My Spyder RT Limited is so convenient because I can adjust the electric windshield anytime I want to during a ride when I'm sitting there. It's just so nice to not have multiple sets of windshields. I can put it down when I want more wind on me. I'm trying to cool off, maybe I'm around town. I can put it up at eye level or even above, depending on how tall you are when you're sitting on the Spyder. I can put it up higher and block all the wind from me and my wife when she's riding. It's just so convenient to be able to adjust it anytime you want and not have to have purchased multiple windshields. Number 6, storage space. The Spyder has so much storage, and it's so convenient when you're going on trips, but even when it's just something short. I'll walk around the Spyder here and kind of talk through the storage and show it to you. The side bags are actually deeper than they look. This one is empty. I'll walk around to the other side in a minute and I'll show you. This is where I keep like my rain gear and an extra towel. They're very deep side bag trunks, and so there's a ton of room there. I've gone on trips where I've put shoes in there, my CPAP machine. I mean, it's really convenient. The rear trunk here has got USB connections, as you saw. It's super convenient. This is where I keep most of the things I need faster access to: gloves, ear, pieces, electronics, sunglasses, lotion, just all the little things that I'm usually going to need the most often. Tons of room here. And then look at how much room is in this front trunk, also called the frunk. Look here at all the things I'm taking out. I had a soft cooler. I've got first aid kits. I've got bags with miscellaneous things in them. I've got skunk towels, which you can get wet and kind of take a bath, wash yourself when you're out somewhere and don't have a shower or something. A first aid kit, a tire repair kit. Look how deep this frunk is. There is a lot of storage. I'll try to look up what the cubic feet or cubic inches of storage is on this, and I'll pop it up on the screen for you. But the storage is so convenient, and it makes it fun because you have plenty of room to take the things with you that you need to take. Number 7, super fun, super convenient thing about the Spyder is it has a real reverse. Not one of those dinky starter motor kind of reverses like you get on the Harley trike, even the Goldwing trikes. They have that little starter engage thing that when you put it in reverse, you just feel like it's going to quit working at any point. On the Spyder, it has a real reverse. As you saw, super easy to put it in reverse, back out of your garage, back out of a spot at an event you're at, makes having to turn around if you're on a road or a dead end or something super easy. It is so convenient to have a real reverse on the Spyder. Number 8 thing that makes my Spyder so fun to ride is I can move and park on just about any terrain I need to. I remember the days of being on 2 wheels, and when it's super hot outside, you're in a parking lot and you're kind of eyeballing to make sure you're not in a soft spot, or if you're on gravel, you're trying to make sure it's not a soft spot in the gravel where you're going to put your kickstand down. I would carry the little kickstand pads, that kind of stuff. On the Spyder, you don't have to worry about that at all. I can park in the grass. I can park on an angle. I can park on a hill. I can park in gravel. And it's super convenient not to have to pick and choose a particular spot and deal with a kickstand pad, all that kind of stuff. Number 9, things that make my Spyder fun. These are kind of standards that come with the Spyder. In this case, my 2020 Spyder RT Limited. Things that come with it that are standard, that are not always necessarily standard on other bikes. You can get them, but it may be extra. My Spyder comes with cruise control. Very convenient, especially on longer trips. Works great, never had a problem with it. ABS brakes, like I mentioned before. I'm just working the 1-foot pedal. It's automatically applying equal pressure to all of my brakes. My Spyder also comes with a stabilization system. So if I happen to be taking a really tight left turn or right turn and it starts lifting my inside tire off the ground, the Spyder will automatically compensate and stabilize the bike such that it'll drop that wheel, the tire back down, which is really cool. Also standard on my 2020 Spyder RT Limited is heated grips and heated seats in both the front and the back, as you'll kind of see here in the footage. Super convenient. My wife can control what she wants to use on the back seat, and she can put it on low, put it on high. Same thing for me on the front. I can turn them on low or high. I've actually noticed on the front grips, I don't even put it on high because it gets so warm, even on low, that's all I ever need, even when it's close to freezing outside. So it's super great having those cruise, ABS, stabilization, heated grips and seats. It's all standard on, in this case, my Spyder RT Limited versus me having to pay for that separate if I had other bikes. And then reason number 10 that having a Spyder is fun, for me anyway, is the looks. The Spyder just looks cool. It has a very different look, obviously, with the two wheels on the front instead of the two wheels on the back. There's a lot more plastic, on the sides. It's kind of got that streamlined look. But I just really like it. I think it looks very unique. And I've had a Spyder for years now, but I still look at every Spyder that I go by because they're all just kind of different in their own way. And related to that is that there's lots of room for custom paint or wraps to customize your Spyder even more. As I walk around the bike here, just kind of notice how many opportunities there are to do things on the bike, whether it's a custom paint job or a wrap job. As I walk around the bike, you'll see that there's opportunities on the front trunk, the frunk. There's opportunities for customization on the side. It's not as big, but there's enough plastic there that you can do a custom paint job or a custom wraps or decals of some kind. There's opportunity to customize the rear trunk on the top there. There's opportunities to do some kind of customization when you're looking at the bike from the back. There's just so much to do here beyond just having a gas tank, for example, that you can do a custom paint job on. So I just think there's a lot of opportunity to personalize and customize the looks of a Spyder in more ways than I was able to do when I had my other two-wheel and three-wheel bikes. So that is it. Those are my top 10 reasons why riding my Spyder is fun and it makes me smile every time I'm out there. I do miss the V-twin sound. I have no problems with other bikes. I love Harleys. I love the Harley trike I had. I love the metrics I had. The Valkyrie Interstate was one of my favorite motorcycles I've ever had. So I'm not knocking any of the other ones. I'm just talking about the things about the Spyder that really make it fun for me. And hopefully, if you have never ridden a Spyder or if you're thinking about a Spyder, some of the reasons I went through here will help you make your decision on, I think I want to go test ride one, or gosh, I never really thought about how convenient a Spyder makes, intersections or parking anywhere I want, or being able to reverse pretty much anywhere a lot quicker than kind of a starter reverse deal. So hopefully it gives you some ideas and some food for thought. I hope you found it helpful. Maybe you learned something new about Spyders even. Maybe you've got more interest in checking it out like I'm talking about. Post your comments or questions. Let's get some discussion going. I love, probably most of all, doing the videos. I love reading the comments people leave. The Spyder community is a great community. Lots of other great YouTube channels and sites. There's always someone that's got experience that can help you out or that's willing to give you their opinion. So I encourage your comments and questions. That's it. Have fun out there, and hey, ride safe.